The agent in charge of the visit was Frank Madden. God rest his soul. He was a wonderful dean of the SY agents, or the security agents. We say SY like you say DS these days, but Frank Madden was a wonderful man, and the Shah liked him very much. But when we were in New York, after we had visited the UN, Shah wanted to go shopping, so protocol organized 2 department stores to stay open on Sunday with their entire staff behind the counter, at each counter. And the Shah and the Empress went through the store, and he bought 115 television sets. He bought 5 Cadillac automobiles. He bought crystal for the palace. He bought linens from Ireland, and he had all this stuff, a couple of $1 million worth of stuff. And it was in a big semi-tractor trailer out in front of the hotel, the plaza. His chief of protocol, Colonel Busigo, said, will you protect all of this? And I said, we're State Department agents for the Shah. We can't. If you want, so you hire a local guard force to guard this tractor trailer parked outside of the hotel. The Shah says, no way. He made a telephone call and had them send an airplane all the way from Iran in 2 days, and they took the stuff out and loaded it all on a plane and flew it back directly to Iran. I couldn't believe it, to Tehran. And of course, because we said we wouldn't protect it, and we don't. But the Shah was, you know, he had all the money in the world. When the secretary went back to Tehran to lay a wreath at the tomb, the Shah's father, the Shahjahan Shah, and it's a national monument, of course, when the Shah was in power. But there was a lot of people in opposition to the Shah, as you well know. And the secretary laid the wreath, and there was riots. And they had the Shah's helicopter right there for us. We came out by motorcade from the embassy, and we were going to fly in a helicopter to the Shah's palace. Everybody climbs on the Shah's chopper, and the guy hits the button, and it goes zhoo, zhoo. It doesn't start. The thing is kaput. The engine wouldn't start. And I said, holy smokes. And you can hear these crowds rioting all around the other side of the monument. The police were holding them back. He was a policeman from the Iranian National Police. I said, is there another helicopter? And he said, yes, there's a military one right over here. I said, we're going in that. We got to get out of here now. So I said, everybody out and go over to that military chopper. And we all climbed up the ramp and got in. There was no seat for me. Everybody sat on pipe racks with canvas webbing, and I sat down cross-legged on the floor and put a strap across my lap so that I would be strapped in. And they got that helicopter going, and we flew to the presidential palace. But it was just, you know, you have to do things that are not in the book sometimes. But on that visit with the Shah, after the New York phase at the UN, the governor of New York invited him for dinner, an early dinner, like 5 o'clock, at his mansion on Long Island. So a teletype message goes from us to the New York field office, and they're banging out, we need escort to the front gate of the governor's residence, and the New York State Police are in charge of that security. And so the typist goes 864 Long Island Expressway, and it's really 684, but he typed in, or she typed in, 684. So anyway, the advanced agents from the New York office who have never been to the governor's mansion went to this 684 instead of 846, 86. Anyway, okay, bring her on in. He's got a radio, and we have a radio, and we're talking to a motorcycle escort from the city, state police, flags, the Shah, everything. We come, and they opened the gates to this beautiful big home, and we just drove right in, and we drove up to the front entrance, and there's all these old people sitting around having tea on the veranda, and we had gone to an old folks' home by mistake. And Frank Madden, he turned and he looked, and the protocol officer who was in the follow car jumped out and he says, where are we? And this guy says, this is the Greenwood rest home, you know, and we're having tea. Would you like to join us? And Madden looked, and they said it to the Shah, and he He got out of the car and he said, yes, we'll have tea with them. They look like nice people. And so we all sat down and had tea at this old folks' home on the way to the governor's mansion. And it's true. That's what he exactly did. We didn't stay too long. He drank a cup of tea and we laughed a little bit. But that just shows you if you fumble, you can make a touchdown if you stick with it, and be very flexible. And that's what you have to be. Always have a backup. Always have an alternate plan, no matter what you're doing. Have another way out. Have another entrance to leave by, an exit. In your planning phase, when you're doing an advanced security survey, be sure to have an alternate plan, and then you'll be sure of success. And that has worked a couple of times for me.
This has been a DS Public Affairs Oral History with former Special Agent Lou Diener.